Hello, friends. Here at To Witch Isle, we talk about spirituality and mental health and how they kind of go together. And I am Charmaine, your host, and today is a very, very rainy day in South Georgia. I actually just finished the Friday show, and now I am working on the Saturday show, which would be the 15th. And I really didn't know what to do. I've been kind of sitting in this space myself where I haven't been like talking to a whole lot of different people, but just having a lot of quiet time to myself. I used to dread having quiet time to myself because I was afraid of where my thoughts would go, because my thoughts were never very kind if they were left on their own to do whatever they wanted to. And that took a lot of hard work in changing my internal dialogue, changing things from negative outlooks to where can I find the lesson in this hard moment right now? And finding a lesson, I feel more positive overall about whatever might be going on, as opposed to when I would allow my thoughts to just take me to those dark places and start to dwell on very dark things, which usually left me in my usual state of helplessness, hopelessness, and nobody likes to be there. God, I know I don't like to be there. So, what do I do now that's different? Well, now I police my thoughts. It isn't one skill that got me to where I feel better. It was a multitude of skills working together over time that got me to a better point. And I think people overlook the hard work you have to put in yourself to overcome things, especially if the monsters are in your head, if it's your own language that's steering you into a place where you are manifesting the negative now because that is all that's on your mind. And I think as I get older, I'm more, let's see, how do I say that? As I get older, I become more attuned to the fact that I have allowed myself to be very, very miserable at times over the course of my life. And now it's me telling myself that I will no longer allow myself to dwell in those miserable places that I used to go ahead and wallow in. I now pick myself up out of those places and go, you know what? I've been in this mud puddle before and I know it doesn't lead to anything fun. So let's go do something productive over here. And it isn't always easy. It's never easy sometimes. Like, there are times where I would rather sit in bed and just binge shows and pretend that real life does not exist. It's just that real life eventually catches up to me. Like, for instance, just the other day, I realized, golly, the reason I have all this money or thought I had all that money was because at the beginning of the month, I didn't actually pay any of my bills. I paid one of them, was depressed about paying it, and went and bought myself something nice to feel better, and then continued to do so. Then I realized, oh crap, I have some bills I need to pay. And, I got them paid. I'm on top of it. But there was a time in my life where that would get out of control for a couple of months, and then I would just allow myself to struggle further because I would continue the same behavior. Now I pretty much catch myself. And, I get in trouble when I get a little frivolous with my spending, but there are also things that I absolutely do need to have. And now I am better at weighing those, giving myself time before I go ahead and make a purchase to weigh the pros and cons of that purchase. Why am I purchasing it? What's the need for it? I won't go out and buy all the after Easter candy on sale because I really, really want to do that. However, I will spend the money on the shark steamer that I need for my floors now that I have chicken fluff through the house. Okay, it's not fluff, but I don't know if you've ever kept chickens in a dog crate, but holy, they make a damn mess. Anyway, I would like to steam clean these floors once those little buggers move out of the house. Although I have a feeling I'm going to have chickens in my house for a while because, even though I have adult children, that does not stop them from wanting pets at mom's house, which I truly find adorable and I love it. So, digging myself out of those dark places now is a lot easier than it was back then because I am more apt to jump on the skills that back then I wasn't good at. I wasn't good at meditating because it wasn't a second nature go to meditation thing. I wouldn't think of meditation because it wasn't something I enjoyed doing. Because when I would meditate, my thoughts would become overwhelming and most of them hurt. So I didn't like it. But as I became more disciplined with my thoughts, meditation became not so bad. And meditation actually connected me to something much bigger. So I, in turn, leaned more on meditation, went to meditation when I wasn't emotionally triggered, when I wasn't dwelling in dark thoughts. Just when I was just being, well, it was during the day and it was like, oh, I woke up this morning and you know what? This morning I'm going to do a meditation, or it's lunchtime and I'm thinking to myself, what, while I'm making my lunch, I'm really going to meditate on making lunch or really focus my intention. That's all meditation really is your intention being focused somewhere, but without judgment. And as all of our intentions should be. So putting intention into my lunch was actually really, really good for me. I think doing those things make me feel healthier overall. Realizing that doing chores such as washing the dishes, doing laundry, sweeping the floors, mopping the floors, cleaning out the animal containers, any of those things, they aren't chores or things to look down on, but they're more of self care items. I like having clean clothes. Therefore, that's a self care. I'm taking care of myself by doing my laundry. And if I can do it with a little bit of fun, which maybe that includes listening to music as I'm loading the washer, maybe it includes dancing around while I'm folding laundry. Whatever it is that I do to make it a little bit more enjoyable, focusing my intention that this is something that I'm doing for me because I love myself. All good things. These are the thoughts that I've been having on this rainy day here. And, it's really maybe it is just me using this rainy day as a cleanser of all those thoughts. Um, Sometimes when I get lonely, I talk to people, but it seems like the people that I talk to in my life the most kind of are struggling and they're having a hard time. And when they're having a hard time, they might be more wrapped up in their own problems than being able to be a compassionate human towards any of my own problems. So it's something I kind of want to handle on my own. And knowing that, at any time I can reach out and get support from my friends, but at the same time knowing that, maybe I need to be the support for me today because I'm not sure that my friends are capable to be the support that I need today. And so I'm going to give a little bit of extra love to myself. And I'm going to take a little extra time to take some care for myself. I'm going to remind myself that the chores that I do aren't necessarily chores, but all self care items. Self care because they're things that I enjoy. I enjoy clean bedding. Rainy days, I use to reflect. I use rainy days to think of the things that I'm grateful for. No, that water allows growth. Everything outside is getting watered right now. My garden is getting the best water, the water filtered by the sky. I'm telling you, rainwater does amazing things to plants because sometimes, you got this itty bitty plant and it rains, and then all of a sudden it's like, I'm going to give you squash. I really love planting things. I challenge you to take your rainy days and give yourself some thoughts that can grow. Give yourself some thoughts that are good for you, and maybe add some of that self compassion and that kindness to yourself, especially, like yesterday, I really wanted to mow the lawn and I did not mow the lawn. And today it is raining and it doesn't look like it's going to stop for a while. And yeah, it's still raining. And, that literally puts I was going to do that. I put it off. Now I can't. And now the lawn is going to be taller. It's going to be harder to mow. But doesn't mean that I'm not going to mow it. And it doesn't mean that I've done anything wrong by doing so. I used to beat myself up for not doing things on time. And now realizing that, you know what? Yeah, there's sometimes a cost for putting something off, but it's not the end of the world. After it rains and after the sun comes out and dries all that rain, I'm going to be able to go out and mow. And it might take a little extra time because it's a little harder to get through. Might have to go over it twice because it's a little tall, but it doesn't mean it is the end of the world. It isn't the end all. It's just a little setback. And in life, there are a lot of setbacks. If you're experiencing a setback, roll with the punches, look for the lesson, and remember there's nothing wrong with taking a step back, taking a little break, reassessing, and then going for it again. Because sometimes we need that little break and reassessment to figure out what it is that's going to make us successful next time. And if you are struggling, always remember that 988 exists. Dial it, and you will be connected to a crisis line center person who can help you through whatever crisis you are having. It isn't just for suicide, it is for personal crises as well. If you do not have a healthy support system to talk to, remember that 988 exists for that. Please call if you're struggling. It saved my life and it could save yours too. As always, take what resonates with you and leave the rest behind. Thank you for joining me here on To Which Isle. Remember, I am also looking for people to talk to. I have lost my co host to bigger and brighter things in her area of the world. And, you know, I enjoy talking to people. This podcast is a lot more, is a lot easier to run and edit and everything else when there is a second party here to talk with. If you're interested in joining me for a podcast, reach out to me. My email address is Charmaigne at towhichisle.com. It is listed in the links below. Reach out, send me an email, and tell me what it is you want to talk about. I am open to any topic, mental health or spirituality. Both are fascinating, and I love to talk about them. And hey, if you just want to talk about maybe something personal that you are struggling with, it might be something that I have struggled with too, and we can have a conversation and really look at how some of life's issues and problems hit us and also become part of the quest for knowledge that makes us better people. So if you want to join me, reach out to me, please. Until next time. be excellent to each other. And until then, light and love, friends.